Welcome back to Cantina Customs. I've been working on putting this video together for about a week or two now, and with Hasbro's recent announcement of a new vintage collection Sandtrooper, dropping this episode couldn't come at a better time. So in this episode, we'll take a look at some customs of my favorite troop builders, the few, the proud, the Sandtroopers. Here's an overview look of my 13 custom Sandtroopers. Most of these are made from the Evolutions Legends style Sandtrooper figures, but I do have 5 custom Sandtroopers that are from the Vintage Collection Black Series line of figures, and even one using the most updated Stormtrooper sculpt. Now, in a previous video, I go into great detail on the Sandtrooper scenes in A New Hope, and I show that in all the Tunisia scenes, there were 6 Sandtroopers with 3 color variations of pauldrons, 2 orange, 2 black, and 2 white. But there are 2 variations of the white pauldrons. One was smooth and the other one had seams sewn into the pads. And the pauldrons were actually made from some motocross chest pads. 5 Sandtroopers wore similar but unique backpacks. Each of these backpacks were created from Boy Scout rucksacks, some field radios, various plastic containers, and plumbing parts. I've labeled the backpacks as A through E, and I'll cover the details of the nuances between each version in just a bit. Now, in the main action figure line, Hasbro has only released one style of the Sandtrooper backpack, and that's Backpack B. I'm not counting the original Power of the Force 2 Sandtrooper because that backpack doesn't look like anything from the movies, even the special edition. Even the newest Sandtrooper backpack in the Stormtroopers of the Empire 3-pack and the one just announced in the Vintage Collection still uses the B version backpack. Now, Hasbro did release in the Movie Heroes line a Sandtrooper with backpack A, but because this figure has light up features, I'm not sure if that backpack is even removable. But I have made customs of the 4 other backpacks, and these all go on my Black Series and Vintage Collection custom Sandtroopers. Most of these customs are pretty subtle because Hasbro has released several versions of the Sandtrooper, but none of them have been movie accurate. Because besides the pauldrons and the different backpacks, there are other tiny little nuances that distinguish Sandtroopers from your normal Stormtroopers. The 2 prominent are the fact that Sandtroopers wear various configurations of World War II ammo pouches and leather pockets. The second is that the Sandtroopers have a hexagonal shaped knee pad on the top of their left shin armor. To get a more movie accurate Sandtrooper, you can't just slap a shoulder pauldron and a backpack on a Stormtrooper. What I suggest for Hasbro, if you're listening, is that you release a 6-pack of all the Sandtroopers, have all of them sculpted with the sniper knee pad, and include the various ammo pouches and pockets, and include the 5 distinct backpacks, and I promise you, fans will buy them up. So now let's take a closer look at my custom Sandtroopers. The first custom is simply an Evolutions Sandtrooper. This is the figure that does not have the waist articulation, but it does come with the belt that has the black pockets. It's got a little black pocket on one side and an ammo pouch on the other side. The figure also comes with Backpack B, the only version that Hasbro has released in the main line. The B configuration has the little air filter looking thing on the upper left-hand corner. Each of these backpacks has a similar configuration with a field radio, various little round canisters, and a long plastic tube on the other side. So this is simply an Evolutions Sandtrooper, but the pauldron with the ammo pouch are from the Power of the Jedi Sandtrooper, the one that is molded so he can hold the binoculars. And I painted over the gray padding. I painted it white, and then I weathered it up just a bit to match the weathering on the figure. Next up is the other Evolution Sandtrooper that does not have the waist articulation, but again, he does have the black pouches on the belt. A little pouch on one side and the ammo pouch on this side. I also painted the gray padding on this pauldron white, and then I dirtied it up a bit. Now, some people have complained about these figures being too dirty, but I don't mind it. I love how weathered some of these are because if you look at some of the Tunisia scenes, especially in the desert, these guys get real gritty, they get real ugly, they get grimy and dirty. Here is the Saga Legends Sandtrooper. This one does have the waist articulation. I cut off the pouch from a pauldron and then I simply glued it onto his arm. Now the newest Stormtrooper pack has the ammo pouch that goes across the chest, but in the movie, they somehow wore those ammo pouches up on their shoulder armor. And what I did for the leather pouches on the belt is that I cut the holsters off of the belt, and then I glued on some Marauder Gunrunner's World War II German pockets. These pockets came molded 3 together, and I just trimmed them off individually, and I glued one to each side. So he's got 2 little black pockets, leather pouches on each side of his belt. Here is another Saga Legends style Sandtrooper. He has the Marauder's MG40 ammo pouch on one side, and then one of those smaller pouches that I cut off on the other side. And as you can see, I trimmed off the holster. And also you can see that he comes with that B style backpack. Just some of them had a different paint configuration. Again, another Saga Legend style Sandtrooper where I painted the gray pauldron white. I guess they were trying to make them look weathered, but none of the Sandtroopers wore gray padded pauldrons. They were either orange, black, or white. So I painted it white, and then I dirtied up the pauldron. I also added an Marauder's MG40 ammo pouch on the left side, and then a smaller cutoff pouch on the right side. This is a standard Saga Legends Sandtrooper, but I added the Marauder's MG40 ammo pouch to one hip, and then 2 pockets to the other hip, just trying to add a little variation to these Sandtroopers. And again, with all of them, I cut the holster off of that Stormtrooper belt. Cut the holster and those little white pockets off. And last but not least, this is an orange pauldron Saga Legends Sandtrooper with a heavy blaster rifle. This gun is only seen in the alleyway to Docking Bay 94 scenes. So I added one of the Marauder's MG40 pouches on the right side, and then a small ammo pouch or leather pocket on the other side. And again, you'll see he's got the identical backpack. No variations of sculpting on the backpack except for differences in paint apps, weathering, and little paint details. So now let's look at some of the newer style Sandtroopers. 5 of these are made from the Vintage Collection Black Series style Sandtrooper with the ball joint type hips. For 4 of them, I made distinct custom backpacks. The first is Backpack A that has the box in the upper left with the little crisscross gaffer's tape. And then on the upper right side, it has these little greeblies on the side. Next is Backpack B. This is the stock backpack that has been released with every Sandtrooper. This one has the best paint apps that I've seen, and it has the little air filter up on the side. And even with the Stormtroopers of the Empire 3-pack and the just announced Vintage Collection Sandtrooper, they all still come with Backpack B. Here's Backpack C. The backpack is missing the cap on the upper canister, and it is also missing the canister on the bottom of the pack. Now, it has the field radio, but above the radio, it just has a small box on the upper left corner. Next is Backpack D. This pack has what looks to me like these shotgun shells in the upper left corner. These backpacks were supposed to mimic kind of the American troops backpacks in different configurations in the Vietnam War. And that's really it for the main differences in this pack. Each pack again has little bluish gray plastic canisters, the radio pouch, a strap, and then that long tube on the side. Then finally, Backpack E. This looks more like a communications backpack to me with this hose or maybe even a flex conduit that's going from one side to the next. It's just got a box on one side with the hose going to the bigger box on the right side. Everything else looks the same. So 4 of these figures are the Vintage Collection Black Series Sandtroopers. This one has the decent helmet sculpt, and it has the swivel hinge thighs. Originally, this style was released with the Legacy dewback and sculpted to sit on the dewback. For the E11 blaster, I'm using my favorite action figure version of this blaster, the one with the working stock. Now for each of these, I cut the little pockets off of the belt and the holster, and then I used custom Marauders pouches. I used a Marauders World War II medic pack on one side that I painted black, and then the German matte pouch on the other side. And then this one comes with the orange pauldron. Next is the same basic figure with a custom heavy blaster rifle that I made from a Marauders MG34 German rifle. I cut the stock off of it, and then I glued on the double ammo canister that you can see here. Then I also added a couple of scopes to the top, and I glued one scope on backwards to try to mimic the movie prop, because there are two of these rifles seen in the Tunisia scenes. This figure has the belt from the Tantive 4 Battle Pack Stormtrooper, which is actually a Sandtrooper belt. So I just cut the belts, I split it, and then I swapped those belts out between this figure and the Tantive 4 Stormtrooper. And you'll notice he's not wearing a backpack because there is one Sandtrooper that does not wear a backpack. Another black pauldron Sandtrooper. He also has my favorite version of the E11 blaster with the working stock. His armor is very dirty. I love how grimy some of these paint apps are. I cut the little white pockets off the belt. I cut the holster off the belt, and then I added the Marauder ammo pouches, the little ones that I split off from the little 3-pack mold. I gave a little pocket on each side. You can check out my other video about the variations of the pouches and the pockets. I don't think there was a consistency with the configurations in the movie, but now we have a little variety to our Sandtrooper figures. This is the Sandtrooper that came with the Legacy Dewback. He has the Hasbro version of that blaster rifle, and this figure was released with clean armor, so I dirtied him up a bit. He's got the swivel hinge thighs so he can sit on the Dewback. And then I gave him the Marauders medical pack that I painted black, and then the single pouch on the other side. Here is another orange pauldron Sandtrooper with the DLT-19 rifle. This custom also has the belt from the Tantive 4 Stormtrooper. I just split it in the back and then swapped it out between the two figures. This trooper was pretty clean, so I gave him a custom wash in some khaki and then some parchment colored paint to make him look a bit grimier. Last but not least is my custom Sandtrooper using the newer design and sculpt. This one has the better helmet sculpt. It has the updated articulation in the hips and the swivel thighs and the rocker ankles. Now I customized a sniper knee pad for this figure from some very thin styrene. And then I added the MP40 ammo pouch to the shoulder, which is also removable. I simply dremeled a hole in the armor to change out the ammo pouch between this one that has that little extra pocket in the bottom corner, and you can swap it out for an MP40 pouch that does not have that little pocket. And so you can also swap the pauldrons out. You can swap the pauldrons and the ammo pouches out, and you can make various configurations of the Sandtrooper with the different colored pauldrons and the different ammo pouches. So on his belt, I gave him the same MP40 ammo pouch. And this current configuration would be the Sandtrooper commonly referred to as Davin Felth, who says, "Look, sir, droids." He's got the stock backpack B configuration. He's got a Marauders German map on his left side. And then he's got the MP40 ammo pouch on the right side. And then he's got the MP40 ammo pouch with the little pocket up on his shoulder. And then I've given him the E11 blaster with the workable stock. It's my favorite version of the Sandtrooper, the white pauldron with those little seams. But wait, what would a video about custom Sandtroopers be without a custom dewback? Well, you'll have to wait until the next episode for the full details on that one. But in the meantime, here are a few picks to whet your appetite. Well, that's it for this episode of Cantina Customs. Hit that like and subscribe button. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about these custom Sandtroopers and your thoughts on the upcoming vintage collection Sandtrooper. And as always, thanks for watching.